Thank you so much for tuning back in. We just wrapped up our show with Adan Troublesome Adames. Now we got our doubleheader second show for y'all. No better way to kick off this second show than the Valley's very own Mr. Omar Pantarita Figueroa. And then we also got Mr. Junior Vasquez. He's an active duty military soldier in the Army. So, of course, we're going to touch base on, both your lives and the diversity, some of the challenges you face. We'll touch base a little bit on the boxing career. But mostly I wanted to bring you guys in to touch base on some real-life topics that everybody goes through. Of course, we just wrapped up Mental Health Awareness Month last month. And I know you guys, the kind of work you do and the backgrounds, you guys are big advocates for mental health. And I just kind of want to touch base and get your all's insight. So, of course, Mr. Omar don't need no introduction, but just go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and who you are.
My name is Omar Figueroa Jr. I was a professional fighter for like 10 years or something like that. I don't know. I just retired. It's been a long life. And so now I'm advocating for mental health.
That's good, man. And you want to introduce yourself really quick for the camera?
Yeah, my name is Vasquez. I am a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army. I've been in the military for about 8.5 years. I'm originally from McAllen, Texas. But yes, I'm here to provide some mental health, just help, and gotta help each other.
That's crazy. So two different, parts of life. You dealing with battles and fighting in the ring, to you actually being out in the battlefield and fighting for your life. Both of these jobs and occupations, I'm sure, take a big toll on your mental health. How do you guys deal with stuff like that during, during your camps and season, you out on the battlefield? How do you guys usually deal with that on a day-to-day?
Okay. Well, with me, I've been in, as I said, like about 8.5 years. At first, it was tough. I have a wife. I have 2 children, soon to be another one third.
Congrats, bro. Congratulations.
So I joined the military. It all started off January 2015. I joined the military. From January 2015 to May 2015, I was in basic. After graduating basic, I reported to my first duty station, 10th Mountain Division out of Fort Polk. Once I got there, they notified me. I was like, "You're going to Afghanistan." And being freshly out of basic, that a lot of stuff was going through my mind, because usually you see, videos of war, but you're not expecting to deploy pretty soon when you have a wife and a 2-year-old child. Being new to the Army as well, because once you transition as a military member, you're transitioning your family members as well, from civilian life to military life. So a lot of stuff was going through my mind. So I was like, I just got here.
Yeah. It's crazy, bro. Getting dropped into like the battlefield, imagine.
Yeah. So I get there, May time frame to Fort Polk, Louisiana. They like straight up, a week later, when I get there, they send me to the field for 30 days.
How old are you at this time?
About 21.
Damn, 21, bro. Yep. That's crazy, imagine.
So 21. My wife is new to everything is new to her, as well for me.
Both of y'all, yep.
Yeah, so I'm out there training for a month out in ruggedest terrain. Not even freaking, sleeping. Or even showering for a month or so. You're just out there in the woods and training for this upcoming deployment. There's like a lot of stuff that goes through your mind. So I get done with training, and then I'll say after that, 2 or 3 months later, I'm in the plane to Afghanistan.
That's crazy, bro.
And it's myself, a couple other friends, straight out of basic, and we are in Afghanistan for it's a short deployment, 6 months, which a lot of people don't think 6 months is short, but it's a short deployment. But yes, went to Afghanistan.
Still active, obviously. You're gonna be deploying out pretty soon, huh?
Pretty soon as well.
Where are you going?
To Europe.
To Europe?
So I'll be going to Europe for 7 or 8 months, and then as well as my wife's about to deliver as well.
Dang,
so,
bro.
It's really hard for her and my kids.
And there's a bunch of people like you out there too that are going through the same stuff, and like it's it takes a toll on your mental health and your family, and it's just like, man,
It's a big,
I thank you for your service. First of all, I appreciate you for for what you do for the country and stuff. But I mean, and it's very commendable. It's a crazy thing to go through, bro. Out there fighting for your life. And
yeah, it's a big thing. Like, like being like one contract in the Army, like regular contracts, like 3 years, like 3.5 years, and 3.5 years. Within that, my first contract, I went to Afghanistan twice.
Damn, bro.
And that was about 15 months away from my family.
Yeah.
And that does not even include the time training.
That's crazy, bro.
So it takes like a mental toll on yourself, especially for the spouse. It's just not yourself, but like leaving your wife behind and kids. It takes a toll on them.
I'm sure
well.
it does, bro. It's crazy.
Because they're in a new area, but yeah, it's
rough, man.
yeah.
And what about you, Mr. Omar? How did you? Obviously, you've been fighting for a long time. When did you first start going pro, or when did you go pro? When you were 18, or?
Yeah, I went pro right at 18, right after graduating high school.
That's crazy, and the kind of pressure. I'm sure, being the first pro fighter from the Valley One.
Well, not the first pro fighter.
Our first world champion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, first world champion from the Valley, bro. What kind of pressures do you face training and having that kind of weight on your shoulders?
Well, see, I don't know, but my upbringing in boxing is totally different from anybody else's because I went through a completely different. Well, at least in my eyes, I don't think anyone else has went through what I went through to get to
where you're at.
Got. And so yeah, I mean, everything is so different for me to compare myself to anybody else. So it's really tough for me to put myself in anybody's shoes,
Yeah, for sure, bro. And look, of course, going through that at a young age and having that kind of pressure, obviously plays a big part of why you advocate so much for mental health now. I mean, it takes a toll on your life, your entire life, and the whole sport of boxing. What are some of the challenges you face, like coming out of the boxing game and just trying to transition into normal life?
Well, the main thing I feel for me was, like, what am I going to fill my time with? Because normally everything was filled with fighting, so I was always thinking about fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I didn't have to think about that, I had already started worrying about my mental health, but I feel like I went head on into my mental health and trying to better myself because there's a whole lot
There's a whole other life after fighting, right? A bunch of stuff going on.
But not just that, there was a whole lot of baggage that I was carrying and that I'm still carrying, that I'm still working every day to, to lighten the load and make it better for myself and all that. But like, it's an ongoing battle, and that's why I'm advocating, because I know that not many have the opportunities that I have. So if I have the spotlight for a bit, I want to advocate and try and help as many people as I can.
That's cool, man. That's very commendable as well, bro. I mean, it's something that a lot of people from the outside looking in, they'll see you and your life and your career like, oh, like he was a boxer, he's been, big fights, and everything's peaches and roses on the outside. But in reality, when you look deep and actually, dissect, you're just like, everybody else. You face the same problems as everybody else, same mental health issues.
Everything, the crap that I had to deal with to make it to where I made it, like, that's what sets me apart from anybody else. Not the good stuff, because there really wasn't much good stuff in my life. The only good stuff came after I won it for myself, but before then it was pretty bad. It was
like you're fighting for success, not only in the ring but in life, to actually be somebody and actually make your name prominent, bro. So that's crazy. And I mean, I've been watching. Everybody, I'm sure, has been watching you since the beginning, bro. You got a lot of support from the Valley. The Valley loves you, bro. So you being able to come and talk use your platform to talk about mental health and the whole stigma, that's very commendable, bro. Like I said, we got a lot of support from everybody down here, and we appreciate you coming and talking a little bit about it. What do you guys got going? I know you're trying to do like merch line for mental health, and what else? Any projects you got going on?
I have some merch line. Me and my family have a few things lined up.
Mm-hmm.
And but like I said, my battle with my mental health is an ongoing battle. So some days I'm up for it and I feel amazing, and other days I'm like why am I here? What am I doing? So I still have those struggles, especially because, like I said, like, boxing consumed so much of my life that now that I don't have it, so I'm trying to find something to fill that void. And I mean, I'm in.
What are some of the things you do to take your mind off of things?
Well, I mainly try to dedicate time to my kids.
Oh, that's
You know,
cool.
ever since I got diagnosed, I look at life completely different. And when I first started medicating, it allotted me the opportunity to like enjoy my kids and enjoy my peace and my time. You know, from having to work and train and all that. And so I don't know. I'm just trying to find a liking to life. Basically, I'm
That's
just
cool,
trying
man.
to exist.
And let's pass the mic over to Junior. I have some questions for you, bro. So obviously, you know, we're on the topic of mental health. You're gonna be going out back to Europe pretty soon for deployment. How important is it to keep your headspace right? And when you're out there, in active duty in the battlefield, how important is that to have everything in your mind right when you're out there?
It's very important, and it's kind of hard sometimes, because you got to make sure you have that on and off switch. Making sure you are not just there to protect yourself. You got to make sure you're protecting your fellow teammates left and right.
Yeah.
And as well as everyone has problems, no matter what. If you have a family, that doesn't be behind your mind.
It's just something you got to turn off when you're in the moment. I'm sure.
Yes,
it's just
at the
like
moment,
fighting for your life,
yes.
just trying to get back to your family.
At the moment, yes, you have to make sure you turn that off, because a lot goes through your mind. A lot of soldiers go out there and wanting to go dominate the enemy, go kill the enemy. But at the end of the day, that's one thing you don't want to do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's going to be either you
Or them.
or the enemy. And that's one thing my wife and I speak about. It's like, it's either going to be myself or the enemy. I have a family to come back to.
For sure.
Right? And at the same time, it's like you're out there with your fellow soldiers, and they're going through some stuff. You have to be there for them. It's hard moments because you're out there either from 6 months to 9 months, maybe even a year, without seeing your family or your loved ones, and all you have is your fellow soldiers and yourself, and that's where the brotherhood builds up, and you're there for each other, making sure no matter what happens, you guys are there protecting each other and
Yeah.
making sure that you guys are gonna come back home to your family.
What's some of the hardest things, like some of the mental health wise, going through this whole thing? You've been in the military for 8.
I've been in for
Years?
8 years. So one big thing for me, for mental health, for especially like a lot of soldiers that are getting out, like Omar was saying, all he had was boxing. Like a lot of guys that are in the military for say 20 years, all they had was the military. Back in the day, got like ladies and gentlemen will get out and they don't have no plan and what they're gonna do next. They're used to the schedule of waking up at 04:30, doing their physical fitness, going to work from probably 09 to like 1700, and that's all they're used to. But once you hang up that uniform, they're like, what do I do now? But nowadays there's like a lot of programs in the military, outreach programs to make sure the military members have plans before they get out.
For sure.
Because it's a scary thing. Because if you're doing a certain thing for a certain amount of time, you're just used to that thing.
Yeah. You come back, you don't even know, like you said, it's all and then to just come back and, all right, what do I do now? It's like,
because you think
can't even
everything's
imagine.
be alright.
Yeah.
But as I say, like there has to be, you have people out there that that want to help. People. There's people out there, either fellow friends, family members.
Let's get the mic a little closer.
Fellow friends, family members that that want to help out.
Is going out and you know coming back into regular civilian life? Is there a lot of help for you guys like that are struggling?
There is help these days. Way more help than you know, probably a decade ago.
Yeah.
They have programs that set you up to get jobs into the civilian world. Like you could go get your CDL, and everything's for free. You can get certificates for free and stuff. A lot of these young kids though that are getting out, they don't take the advantage to do that. So you know their plan is to get out, go to school. But like as I tell them, I was like, do you have a plan? They're like, yeah, you have school. I'm going to school. I was like, what school are you going to? Yeah. They're like, nothing. I was like, well, like
you gotta figure that out. Yeah.
You know, like being in the military is gonna use you because in the military you're just a number. You know, I tell them, I was like, use the military. You know, take this advantage and use the military. All right, because at the end of the day, you're just gonna get out and you're just a number. You are just a number. You know, you gotta set up yourself for success.
For sure. Make the best of it.
Yeah, it's just a stepping stone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like. And that's just not for the military. That's life as well.
Yeah. Any opportunity you get, you need to take full advantage. Like for Mr. Omar, you had the opportunity to change your whole life, and you know, change your family's life, and you did that. You had to take that opportunity. I'm gonna have a question for Omar. Coming back from like the pro career and back to, you know, just like you said, regular life. You know, dealing with these issues. How is it finding help? Are you finding the right amount of help, or what's that like? Trying to get the help that you need.
Yeah, I have a therapist, a psychologist that I talk to, and I just spoke to a psychiatrist also. I'm in the search to better my mental health too. I had already started, but I had a bad experience with the first person. And so, you know, in a sense, I'm kind of getting a glimpse of how hard it is for people to find help themselves because, you know, like I am capable. I know exactly what I'm doing, who to call, why, and everything. And I have insurance and everything. And it's like it's impossible to talk to somebody, or they make it impossible to talk to somebody, you know?
So it's kind of difficult then in a sense.
It is hard to get help. And I can imagine, you know, especially, you know, my paisanos, you know, that are coming over from Mexico, you know, and they have trouble understanding language and everything. Like I can only imagine how much harder it is for them. And like I even had some people, you know, that were rude, and it's like I'm just trying to get help, relax, like it's not that serious, you know. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's something that we should work on as a society, is providing help for people that need it.
Yeah, and then also now this modern day, like the suicide rate compared to back in the day, is just shot up tremendously. I don't know the exact number, but it's more than tripled, quadrupled since like the 70s and 80s. So obviously, you know, the life that the world that we living in, it's transitioned into obviously, you know, social media, which takes a big part of a lot of kids and mental you know, people, not just kids, like everybody in general, their mental health is affected big by it. What kind of advice that can you give to somebody who's dealing with something like that?
The best advice I could give anyone is to just speak out. You know, if you're going through something rough and you know you're not supposed to, we're not dumb as kids, or even as grown-ups. You know, we know what the hell's going on. And as a child, if you feel like you're going through something you shouldn't, you know, speak up and save yourself however you can.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're all that matters. You know.
For sure, bro. What about you, Mr. Junior? You got any advice to anybody going, maybe anybody who's about to join the military and they're going through these, you know, mental health issues, or where they feel like they might need a voice to reach out? Any advice you give them?
Well, advice, you know, we're all men, especially in this room. We grow up with like, I say machismo, you know. It doesn't matter, you know. If you have, you know, problems and you want to speak about them, you know, you have a voice. You know, that voice needs to be heard, right? Just use that voice and let your loved ones know, let your friends know that you have a problem. It's very important. Recently, I just had a fellow soldier, you know, commit suicide, and this was a week and a half ago, and you know, everything could be good in one day. The person could be good, you know, and then, you know, this soldier didn't want to reach out, you know, reach out, and you know,
it's like they say, like the ones that are smiling the most, and you know, putting up in front of the ones that are hurting the most inside. So another thing also, you have friends out there who are going through stuff. Check up on your friends, your loved ones that might need that, you know, voice to talk to, or somebody just to reach out. And just something as big as just picking up the phone and reaching out, man.
And don't make them feel bad. Don't make them feel like any less for reaching out, for seeking help, because they need it. You know, like when you get sick, we go to the doctor. It's like nobody gives you crap for doing that.
Yeah.
It's like when people seek mental help, it's like it's frowned upon. It's like seen as weak, and it's like that's absolutely not the case.
You think it's just the culture down here though? Like, oh yeah, it's machismo. Going back to machismo, we're in the valley. Oh no, don't be a little girl. Like, you know, like.
Yeah, I think it's a way that us parents think that we're toughening up our children, or boys especially, but obviously it's something that if you look around, everyone is hurting, especially people our age now.
Yeah.
The kids that were going through what I was going through when I was a kid are the adults now. We're the grown-ups now. We're the ones with kids. We're the ones leading the world, the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if it starts at home, if they say that everything starts at home, then mental health starts at home. Security starts at home. Love starts at home. You know what I mean? Like teaching a child to love themselves starts at home. And I feel like that's why, you know, we need to attack the root of the problem, and that's
improve on that as a society, and just showing how to love or love themselves. That's big, man. That's big. Those are good words, bro. What advice do you have if you could talk to yourself as a 12-year-old? What advice would you give 12-year-old Omar?
There's nothing I could have told myself that would have helped.
Realistically,
no, nothing. I was too caught up in everything that I was dealing with and going through that I wouldn't have known what the hell to do anyway.
That's crazy, bro. What about you?
As a 12-year-old?
What can you tell 12-year-old Junior right now if you had a chance to speak to him?
One thing is everyone comes in a different walks of lives. Back in the day, a 12-year-old back in the day is not the same 12-year-old
day. Yeah, for sure.
So back in the day, you know, we had social media.
Yeah.
But social media was not as big as
it is now.
I don't know what I would tell myself. But 12-year-old this time, like a lot of 12-year-olds like just consists of social media. You know, they see other kids like, oh my gosh, this kid's making it and stuff. They want to picture themselves in their shoes.
Yeah.
But these people in social media are just posting videos and pictures, painting a picture in how they want the world to see them.
For sure.
As you were talking about earlier. But they don't know what is going on in closed doors. No. That's why you have a lot of these young kids like committing suicide and stuff. Because of social media. Like all these, I don't know. Social media is not the thing to, I guess, put credit upon. You know, like be yourself. Just be yourself. I would just say be myself as a 12-year-old. That's it.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure.
But yeah, that's
cool, man. So how much time do you have left in the military before it's all said and done? You're gonna still got a lot more time left. You want to retire?
So right now, my current contract, I have 2.5 years left. So that will put me in like almost 11.5 years.
So, how old are you right now?
I just turned 31.
Turned 31?
I'm old. No, okay.
Oh, we're the same age. I think we're the same age.
I might. It all depends.
You're like 2 years older. It's pretty much the same thing, bro.
Yeah, but I aged in dog years.
You aged in dog years?
Yeah, I guess boxing.
plays a toll on you, man.
It all depends. I talked to my wife. It all depends on how everything is within 2.5 years, how the economy is. Because right now the economy is not right.
Yeah.
You have inflation and everything, and I have a wife, and soon to have the third kid. You know, I have to provide for my family. So might do 20, but I just have to have a plan.
Play it by ear.
Yeah, I always have plans.
And Mr. Omar, you obviously dealing with what you're going through now. Obviously, boxing was a big factor in why you're dealing with it. If you could have done anything different, is there anything different that you would have done?
There was nothing I could have done. And what I thought of was way too grim to say.
Oh man, yeah. But I mean, now we have, you have people around you that love you. You have, the help to reach out to. It just, it's a blessing to be here where we're at now, and nothing bad or worse would have happened in between. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing. It's like we were talking about earlier. The glass is always half full, bro. Yeah. So that's good.
You look at it that way.
Yeah, you just gotta count our blessings and be grateful for what we have, and that's it, man. Any last shout outs or any words of wisdom you could give for any other kids that are out there dealing with this?
Honestly, like I said, the best thing
just
is
to reach out.
Reach out. That's the best thing you can do. There are people that care. I know that a lot of people suck. Most people suck, but there are good people out there, and if they just happen to find someone that helps them, like, why not?
For sure. Yeah.
It's not gonna get any better if you do nothing.
Cool, man.
Young people listening, as I said earlier, you have a voice. That voice needs to be heard. If you need help, you have people that love you. Right? People that love you. Go seek out help. And as I tell my kids, be what you want to be, commit, and you'll succeed in life. And you put your hard work and effort in it. Thank you.
Cool, man. Before you break off, man, is there any projects or anything crazy you want to announce, Mr. Omar or Junior? You got merch coming out. No, you're trying to work on the merch line for the mental health awareness. You want to speak on that?
Trying to come up with some mental health merch.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to again do some sort of podcast revolving around mental health.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many things. I've been overwhelmed with the opportunities that have been coming up. But the thing is that I first and foremost gotta be right up here, because I've already been at the top of the world, and it wasn't enjoyable for me, but because of my trauma. So I'm trying to help myself find that motivation again to get back
I got you, man.
Somewhere.
Yeah, we got a lot of support from us here and at the Wave, from everyone here in the Valley as well. So we know we're rooting for you, bro, and we hope everything you plan on fulfilling everything that you want to do in life, bro. And Mr. Junior, you're going out, getting back deployed pretty soon. Again, be safe out there, bro. Good luck. Again, thank you for everything that you do for the country, man. And we'll be praying for you out there, man. So, all right. Any last shout outs at all? Anything you want to shout out?
Well, yeah. There's this new exciting project that we're embarking on as a team, Figueroa and I, and I'm part of Team Figueroa, right?
Yeah.
It's because it's a crazy opportunity that just happened to come up, and it's we have this opportunity with this drink that's about to launch or just launched or something like that, and so we're hoping to use them as a platform to also bring mental health awareness to everyone in the world. Hopefully.
Cool, man. So you got an energy drink?
It's called Locked In, and it's a nootropic, hydrogen infused water, so it's healthy in every way.
Cool. And it's it's an energy drink, or is it a water, or energy water is what it is?
It's I think it's a hydrogen infused water, but we're working on an energy drink and so many things. But
cool, man.
So that's why I don't know what exactly is going on with that.
It's still unfolding as we go. Cool, man.
What's nootropics for people who don't know?
Yeah, what's nootropics for people who don't know?
Nootropics, the reason why I was so interested in this drink specifically is because they're including nootropics in their formula, which nootropics are to help the brain, and to help the brain in all sorts of ways. But so obviously from someone that struggles with their mental health, I feel like that's something that really drew me to this drink. Cool. and made me passionate about it.
That's good, man. Well, like I said, again, the Valley's proud of you and both of you guys for everything that you do for us. Anybody having problems, make sure to reach out for help. Talk to somebody. Suicide prevention hotline, and reach out to whoever. There's other options and other ways of going about things, and your families, for you that are having struggles and problems, just know that y'all's families love you, and people love you, and don't be afraid to reach out for help. So
I think the hotline is 611.
611. 611 hotline.
611 is a hotline for suicide or something like
Suicide
that.
prevention. Okay.
Is literally that number?
I
611.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, there you have it. Another great episode. Again, Mr. Omar, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Mr. Junior. Thank you again for getting both spectrums of from your world to the professional boxing world and bringing them all together for this amazing conversation, bro. Again, good luck in all your endeavors for both of y'all, and thank y'all so much for tuning into The Wave. Everybody tuning in on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Soundgarden app. Everybody leaving hearts and comments on our social media platforms. Forever grateful for y'all. Appreciate everybody, and make sure you tune in next week for another episode of The Wave.
Stay locked in.